We're going to move on, and then we're going to come back to the refrain all together. Tenor line, men, women, if you have a very low voice, men typically is going to be singing the tenor line. The tenor line is the higher register of what's typically the male voice. Myself, I am a tenor. Murray, if you happen to be watching, you're a tenor as well. Tenors, we're kind of rare, it seems, few and far between, but the tenor line is the higher register of a man's voice. If the tenor line feels uncomfortable to sing because it is too high, you're more than likely a baritone or a bass. And for any of the women, you're more than welcome to try and sing the tenor line. If it feels a little too low, you're probably an alto. If it feels just right, you could be a tenor. I know Ellen Seebeck, if you're watching, hi. Ellen gracefully sings with the tenors in choir with us, to my much gratitude and thanks, as the tenor line can kind of be very lyrical and require quite a bit of gusto to really push forth, but in a very subdued manner. So women tenors are a dime a dozen. They are such a joy to have. So Ellen, thank you, sincerest as well, always. But we're going to look at the tenor line. Tenors and basses read on a different clef in most hymnals than the sopranos and altos do. Looking at the tenor clef, it looks like a D, but half of the D wasn't drawn in. This is called a bass clef, where the center note of the clef is typically a D. So from the bottom, we have G, B, D, F, and A. A common phrasing for this is good burritos don't fall apart. It's one of my favorites. G, B, D, F, and A. Noticing in this key, we do have B flat, so that has to be taken into account. But tenors, you guys will be starting on the note C. Because you are one line above the top of the staff in the bass clef, if the top of the staff is an A, and the space above that is a B flat, you guys have to be one note above B flat, which is then a C. And you'll notice your next note goes up to a D and comes back down to a C. We're going to go over all the notes kind of quickly. Again, this is geared more towards the intermediate level, but I do want this to be accommodating to everyone. So real quickly, the tenor notes, as notated right here where my cursor is, start on a C, a D, a C, a B flat, an A, and two B flats here. To put that into perspective, what it sounds like is continuing on, A, C, C, C. Kind of an easy part. Let's sing that together. I'll sing with the tenors. You are welcome to sing at home. Please, I encourage you to do so. Singing right now, when we're so cramped up inside, really just allows us to have some form of self-expression, and I promise you, it'll make you feel better. So give it a try. Sing along with me. This is the tenor line, Jesus Keep Me Near the Cross. We're going to do the first phrasing, the first stanza, the first system. Jesus, keep me near the cross, there a precious fountain. And then I'll go over the notes that are in the next system below. 1, 2, 3. Jesus, keep me near the cross, there a precious fountain. Looking at the next notes below, free to all, a healing stream flows from Calvary's mountain. Again, I'm sorry the mountain isn't phrased on this slide. I will go over those notes. Free to all, a healing stream. The healing stream, as with the other two parts, is where these notes differ from the original first system above. So if we look, we have again a C, a D, a C, a B flat, and an A, up to a B flat, and then down to an F. That is where we get the difference from the first system above. Then continuing on, an F, an A, a G, and then a B flat and an A. So the tenor line, free to all a healing stream. 1, 2, 3, 4. Free to all a healing stream flows from Calvary's mountain. I'll sing that one more time with you. I'm going to do my best again to scroll down. It is kind of challenging. 1, 2, 3, 4. Free to all a healing stream flows from Calvary's mountain. That's the tenor line. It's actually pretty easy to go over. Knowing that you have the bottom two notes, mountain, where we just hold that B flat to an A, mountain. I'm going to try and go over the tenor line all together. Jesus, keep me near the cross, tenor line, up until Calvary's mountain. We're going to do that entire segment. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jesus, keep me near the cross, there a precious fountain, free to all a healing stream, flows from Calvary's mountain. Again, sorry, it's hard to scroll that down at the same time while playing and singing and reading music. I think the tenors can have a good grip on that now. We're going to look at the bass part. And again, feel free to re-listen to this. If there's a section that you want to readdress, feel free to go back and listen to it. That is the benefit of having a live recording, is you can continue going over it. Jesus, keep me near the cross in the bass line. Basses are typically known to have the one-note wonder. A common bass line is sounds like a typical bass line. Every bass is probably shaking their head at home. This bass line, kind of true to that. We're going to look at Jesus Keep Me to Precious Fountain of the bass line, because you really have a lot of just similar notes. Your first note is an F. Singing on that note, Jesus keep, and bass is a little bit low in my register. I'll do my best to sing it with you, but do be listening to the piano, as the piano is giving you your correct notes as much as I can try. Jesus keep me near the cross, F, 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 C, D. Notice that C and D, the D is still on that center line of the staff for the basses. And that center line is your honing point, that is D. F, 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 C, D, B flat, B flat, which sounds like continuing on. Or actually, we'll do that one more time. We'll do it with the words. Jesus, keep me near the cross. Jesus, keep me near the cross. Continuing on, there a precious fountain. Fairly straightforward. Looking at the next section, you guys actually have the same notes for almost the entire thing. You only have two differing notes when it says flows from Calvary's And mountain is slightly different, but you get most of your notes are the same. So the bottom section, free to all a healing stream. We'll look at that. 1, 2, 3. Free to all. Continuing on, flows from Calvary's mountain. It's very synonymous with a typical bass part. You have 4 notes. Very typical bass part writing. I want to look at the bass and tenor line now together, looking from Jesus, keep me near the cross. So this is your chance, tenors and basses, you get to sing together. We're going to take it a couple times from the first phrase to the second phrase, Jesus, keep me near the cross, to flows from Calvary's mountain. We're going to do it a couple times. So here's the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll take that one more time. Notice that you guys have much more of the dissonant notes. If you look on the sheet music, you'll see these 7s written commonly in here. That means that instead of a triad having 3 notes in the chord, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 3, 5, and 1, or in this case, instead of having 3 notes and one of them being repeated, there are 4 notes, as in the case with this C7, we have a C, an E, a G, and a B flat, which sounds like, which just this note, this chord really wants you to go back and hear, because that B flat is a strong note that leads back down to A. As you hear, it really wants to force you back into that. Sometimes that is used to not allow it, but in this case it is. Tenors and basses, one more time, first phrase to the end of the second phrase. 1, here are your notes actually. Basses, tenors. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is all of the verse line part.